Hey guys, well, I finally did it. I graduated. In fact, I did so back in December. I meant to do this video a few months ago. In fact, I recorded a version of this a while back, but I wasn't too satisfied with it and I got some of the dates wrong back then. So here's hoping that I can do it justice. And I want to do it right because this is kind of a special video for my channel because, well, outside of the innate specialness that is getting a degree, I view my college education, my journey, tangential to my YouTube account. In many ways they cross, and I look at some of my videos and think, wow, I couldn't have said that if I didn't take this class. Not to mention I started my YouTube around the time I started college, the first few months actually. So this is a very special occasion that represents not only me, but I think it's also pretty closely related to my channel. So how about we start? So after high school I started going to a community college, which I will refer to as a college. I'm going to be using code names because I'm kind of private like that. And one thing I will remember about a college is that at the, what do they call it, orientation, at orientation, I ended up going late because I thought it would be like high school, where you can go in at any time and the advisors there or whoever will get you your classes. I didn't think it would be a rigid schedule with ceremony, presentations, and lunch. So that was my first, before I even entered college, I made a mistake. And going to an orientation a week after, I didn't get the classes exactly with the schedule I would have wanted. But it ended up working out. I could change it after, took an online class, my first online class. But I will never forget that feeling because it was kind of my first sense of having weight. In public education, they push you. It's really hard to fail public education, I think, as much as that might sound insulting to people who never passed high school. But the thing is that it's kind of, you know, a structure to push you through it. But going to college and university, I felt a sense of weight where I could really screw up if I wasn't on it. So that was a new sense I hadn't felt before. I started going in fall of 2018, but the college didn't have a kind of film course. There was a sister college that had one, but it was a bit far away, so I thought I would have to transfer. In fact, I would have to transfer. I started that college in fall of 2018, and my last semester there was in fall of 2019. So getting to the end of that year, I was really stressing out because I would have to transfer and go through this whole the anxiety again of this new experience. And that would seem bigger because I was stepping up to a university. But also because I would have to find a university that supported the degree I wanted, a sort of film degree. And I'm not in California. There weren't a lot of film degrees there around at that time. So I had to call through a couple of universities. And then I found one, which I will refer to as B University, that offered what they said was a film degree. And in fact, it was kind of weird because looking up on their website, there was a sort of film degree that was more oriented to acting and the such, but the advisor I called suggested to take something called New Digital Communications as it. And I looked through the website. They said, they looked through it too. They said, okay, yeah, there's screenwriter, director. Yeah, this is the kind of film degree you're looking for. And I would even later look on the website and I looked through the potential jobs and it said screenwriter, director. So yeah, it looked like a film degree. So at the start of 2020, I would have to go to B University. Emphasis on go because unfortunately, it was like an hour away. In fact, maybe even an hour and a half away, at least to home, considering traffic, which really hit hard when I had to wake up at around 6 o'clock to get there for a 7 or 8 o'clock orientation. That kind of set the tone a bit. But hey, it's had my degree, so I went through the orientation there, even though it felt like forever having to get up that early. And I got my classes set. I had to get them all on the same day, and one online, 3 there, 1 online. And because I couldn't go every day, because it was, as I said, a long ways to and from. Just couldn't do it. So going there, I had to endure long days. And things weren't going so well. I remember getting a sense of insecurity when I looked through the degree plan, and some of the classes were stuff like media writing, which seems alright, films and media, that's what it means, right? But then looking more into it, it was social media writing. And in fact, the degree of new digital media seemed more geared towards mass communication. In fact, even a bit of, it was open to kind of like marketing a bit. And it wasn't so much focused on film, but I didn't really have that inclination at first because I was taking classes like Introduction to Mass Media and Society in Media. So those classes seemed like they could really help film. But the degree plan didn't seem geared to that end, despite the jobs listed on it and the advisor telling me that it was pretty much a film degree. In fact, even recently I looked back at it and it still lists jobs like director and screenwriter, which really doesn't seem representative of it, since it's not necessarily a film degree. It's almost kind of like a broadcast degree. So I felt really kind of betrayed. To get a little bit on the low sides of it, I kind of wish, as much as this may be called I got my degree, this won't be strictly celebratory. There will be some lows here, and this is one of my lows where I kind of cried in the middle of one class. That's like, I don't want to be over dramatic. There were a ton of people and it was more like, ugh. But oh well, I felt really distressed, especially since I was going to and from for miles and miles, and I was like, wow, I went all the way here because they said it was this degree, so I felt rather lost and I wasn't sure what to do. And in fact, going there, I just felt pretty depressed. But one thing that kinda helped was that year in spring of 2020, that semester, I ended up talking to Janie, who is my girlfriend. And this will end up coming back later, although really she's constantly been there throughout my education, and in fact really helped me feel better about a lot of it. So don't worry, it is, it's alright. Or at least it will be alright. Especially considering something that made me really happy, luck of all lucks, that happens that semester. COVID-19. So my dread to going to the classes and spending all day at school? Nope. Just online from there. So I finished that semester, but I can't really continue a degree that isn't really the degree I wanted. So I ended up looking around the school website to see if there was something more applicable to film. And surprisingly, there was. It was a sort of theater film concentration, where the classes, a lot of them were theater, but there were film classes, and in fact the degree was geared towards teaching you aspects like that can be useful in film, even if they were, some of them were based in theater. And I remember I called a school advisor about it, and they said it only started around the time I entered. But in fact, I looked it up and it was there about a year before I entered that school. So just a big question mark of how come the advisor I called initially didn't push me to this degree? I really don't know. But hey, I found the degree I actually wanted, and still lucky, I was going through online classes. It was by this time fall of 2020. But the thing is I found that degree rather a bit late, so I had taken a Japanese class, which would have supported a minor for another degree. But oh well, I still ended up completing that class, even if I didn't necessarily need it for that degree. But either way, I called up and I was in the right degree now. Except there was something, a bit of a caveat, that I was technically in the degree program, but it was a program. In spring, they told me you had to submit 3 films that we would make in a class, film production. So I couldn't necessarily officially be in the program in fall 2020, but I could still take the classes that would contribute and then join in spring 2020. So I thought, no biggie. And in fact, it felt really reassuring to take classes that I was getting interested in, because I took my core classes first, and then now's when I'm digging into film with all those classes. So I finished fall of 2020 and moved on to spring 2021. And so I took the film production course that would provide me the films to put into the application for the program. And something strange happened at the end of the semester. I called the advisor on a Zoom call, and it was about time, it was discussing inputting in the application. So, of course, I had the films I needed, and but she started saying that, oh wait, actually, you can't be in the film program yet. And I was confused. I'm like, wait, what? I was told that I just need these films to turn it in. And she says, oh no, you actually need to take filmmaker's history. And so I'm looking up and down the degree course, the degree plan, looking for filmmaker's history. Nothing. Search it, nothing. What number is that? Oh, it's da-da-da-da. So I search up the class number, look up and down, search it. Nothing. And I say, it's not here. I don't see it in the degree plan. And so she says, oh, well, right, you need to take this class still. It's not in the degree plan, but you have to take this still to be part of the degree plan. And so I look into it, and it's a 3-hour class and a 3-hour lab. This is spring of 2021, and the schools, particularly, I don't know if other schools were different, but at least this one was really urging people to go back into the classroom. So I would have to go to school to take this class. Even worse, the initial class would be at 2 or 3 o'clock. And then the lab, I would have to go to a 6 o'clock class, which is just an absolutely horrendous setup, because it's absolutely not conducive to people who have to travel to college. It's only really doable if you live on campus. So that was just really irksome. And seeing all the classes I would have to take, let alone the hour-long drive there and, back, it felt like a noose was tightening on me that I would have to eventually go back, let alone to this class that is not part of the classes I have to take, but I have to actually take it to be part of the degree. So essentially it's a bachelor's, so it's 120 hours plus 6 hours of this other class, which just seems absolutely unfair. Why would I have to take 6 more hours just for the right to partake in this degree? Meanwhile, among all of this, it wasn't even that much of a great experience at home, because my mom, who never wanted me to get a film degree, was considering this the finale of my film journey and being like, oh, well, nope, that's it. Go take coding, take, physical therapy or whatever. Because, whatever can be done online. Just get any degree. It could be a degree studying dog turds. Whatever. And so it was just all around stressful. And not wanting to take the film history course, the due date had already passed on the application. So, and the head of the film program was on vacation. So I asked him if I really had to take the filmmaker's history course because the class is not a part of the actual degree plan, and I had already technically been taking these film classes anyway. So he gets back from vacation and he tells me, okay, no, you don't have to take filmmaker's history. I message it to my advisor and she says, okay, keep this because it tells you don't need to take filmmaker's history. Next spring you can just sign up for the filmmaker's program. And this is kind of the straw that broke the camel's back. This is what really kind of demoralized me on my college experience. So essentially, when I start this at B University, they say, oh, take this degree, it's film, and then I'm in it and it's actually really not, and so they say, oh, well, actually this is the real film degree. You can take this, but you need, some short films to submit to be in the program. Okay, hey, I have my short films. Actually, yeah, you need something more than that. Oh, what is it? It needs, you need this class. Oh, well, okay, president of the program, do I actually need this class? It's really inconvenient. Okay, you don't need this class. Just absolutely incompetent. I felt so jerked around, especially since when the advisor in mid-call goes, oh, actually, you need this. So it really shows you, you're an advisor. You should know this. You shouldn't be going, oh, yeah, actually, you need this at the last minute. And in fact, to make matters worse, and I just checked this, the degree plan in 2022, which was the last year I ended up going to that school, university. The degree plan, even up to 2022, didn't even mention filmmaker's history at all. You had to look at the application to know. The degree plan did not tell you for even up to 2022. But what I consider an admittance to guilt in regards to all this, as of 2023, I checked, and it does tell you need filmmaker's history of film, and in fact, they actually absolved it into the curriculum, so it counts as a class of the 120 hours, not added onto an already existing 120 hours. So that's pretty much a realize, hey, they screwed up, that they had to add this into the description. Why wasn't it already there in the first place? And add it to the curriculum. So, hey, they fixed it, but only after how many people graduated? How many people may have been mistaken like I? I don't know. They fixed it, but why was it like that in the first place? And I only harp on this because it's university. They squeeze you out of so much cash, and the fact that they do this on top of, mistakes like this, utter incompetence, that's really awful. And I really wanted to put screen caps of this to prove it. And I do have it written in my notes in case I ever have to pull it off. But the thing is that I don't want to put in stuff that people can search and find out where I went to university. As I said, private person. So, just take that for what it is. But let's go back to 2021. I'm still there. I feel screwed. And I feel trapped into this degree plan. My mother's kind of old, so it was a really worrying thing to go there and get COVID, if that were potential. So I pretty much took the online classes that I could. 2 in fall 2021 and 1 in spring 2022. I felt bored out of my mind. I was only taking one class at the end of it, and I was desperate. I wanted to get out so bad. I tried bargaining with my mother that, I can go back to get an associate somewhere. I know that's desperate, but considering the landscape was barren of film degrees, I was, and I really didn't trust B University. I felt really screwed. But I was pushed to look into another school. And in fact, this is around the end of spring 2022 semester, so it's summer 2022. And I looked, and apparently there was a degree at, I will call it C University. And it was a film degree. And it looked really promising. I was kind of shocked because even looking back recently, they opened that degree right when I needed it, summer 2022. I'm not necessarily a spiritual person, but stuff like this really does come off as a miracle. That right when I was out, right when I was desperate, right when I needed it, a door opened. So I just felt really thankful that I had this opportunity. So I applied. Thankfully, I didn't have to go to a physical orientation, but that wouldn't have been so bothersome because it's only 30 minutes away. So it's like half the time it took to go to B University. C University was already looking up, and I hadn't even stepped foot in a class yet. But of course, I was anxious going into it. I took 3 online classes and 1 physical class. But one thing that was also kind of miraculous looking up is that at B University, some classes ended up going to waste after I went into the film program, like mass media and society and media, and even Japanese. But when I transferred into C University, hey, the media classes, this degree has it. Okay, so, I'm ahead of the game. We also need a language class. I have that. So I was ahead of the game. Let me try to do the math real quick there. That's like 3 hours per class, so that's 6. So I was like 9 hours ahead of the game at C University. And in fact, if I ended up taking more classes at B University, it would have been a step back because C University, you need to take 30 hours there in order to count as getting a degree from there. I left B University right at the time where everything added up that I only needed about 31 hours from C University. So things just fit really neatly and worked out for me. Once again, really miraculous. So this is fall 2022. I head into the classroom. It's been a while. It's been, how long? It's been since 2020, since COVID started, that I entered a classroom. I was nervous, but once I went in, it was like business as usual. I just felt really happy. I was around people. I was interjecting. I was, talking with others. It just felt great because I hadn't been in a classroom in what felt like forever. And I really enjoy education. I really enjoyed going to school, and I was just back. It felt right. It felt good. I was happy to be back in the class. Even if I was going there only to spend 1 hour in a class, I was unbelievably happy because of that 1 hour, because it just felt like I was back at it. And then the next semester, spring 2023, I took one of my favorite classes out of my college journey. It was sexuality and gender in film. Just a really interesting class that really elevated the way I look at film. And one thing that I really don't want to seem too harsh, but I want to give the highs as well as the low. This is kind of why I did this re-recording in the first place, because I wanted to do this justice, and I missed some of this, and I should talk about some of the sad points as much as the happy points. One thing that was kind of recurring in 2 of these classes is we had to watch some films. And watching some of them, my mother kind of scoffed at them in a way. She considered them useless for my actual education. And that's just something that I really do not like. She tried to push me into coding or really anything other than film. And even when I get it going, with a good degree and I'm feeling confident in my degree, I'm feeling really confident in my degree, she makes fun of the classes I take. And so it's really something odd because I kind of received support split. My dad didn't pay for my university, for my higher education, but my mom did. And while my dad was more positive about my studies, my mom really hated me getting a film degree, and as I said, mocked my classes. So you got some support here, some support there. Just a really complicated feeling to get someone who will go, "Oh, I'm proud you got the degree," and happy about it, when they made fun of the steps you took to get there. So, that's all I can say about it, I guess, right now. But I don't want to get that too down because it didn't get me much down because I loved being in the classroom. In fact, I was in the classroom more the following semesters. And, I really felt confident. I was getting my degree. I knew when, and it was sooner than I thought. So I was happy. In fact, I took an internship online at a publication writing reviews. Another experience that sort of elevated my education that made this going here really special. So we're coming up on the final semester, fall 2023. And in fact, there was something big happening beyond me getting my degree. I had planned to see my girlfriend Janie. I tried organizing a meetup, me seeing her, but more family trouble that I will not go into. So she was planning to come here. I wanted to go there by summer, but didn't work out. So she was coming here by December. So I was getting my degree and getting to meet my long distance girlfriend. And there were two things I felt with the film degree program. One, I didn't go to film club, and I was a bit new in regard. I ended up going later in my college journey, so I didn't have time to settle there too long. And also, I didn't go to the club, so there were some times where I felt like I may not have belonged. I felt like I was kind of an extra. And that was kind of hard for me. And that's more of a me problem, especially when I should have been making connections. But I still did, thankfully, feel a sense of camaraderie because I saw these people over and over again. Because it was a tight-knit, there weren't a lot of people in the film degree, so it was kind of tight-knit. We saw each other over and over again, so even if I didn't go into the clubs, I still saw familiar faces, and they were familiar with me. And the last semester, I took a senior seminar, which was making a short film. And although some of the other students made fun of it and weren't so happy with it because, well, it wasn't a script they had manifested. We were kind of taxed with doing it for the music class. So a lot of control felt a bit out of our hands, but I didn't mind too much. I still had fun with it because it was my first time working with other people on a short film. Mind you, much of my college education, especially my production classes, I took at B University, where I was there during COVID, so I didn't have the chance to get out there and make short films. So this was a really special opportunity for me, where I was script supervisor, and it was really an experience working on a really enlightening experience working on a film like this. And so essentially, I finished senior seminar. I'm counting the days, not really for my degree, but because I'm lovesick. I couldn't wait to see my girlfriend Janie. And so, right the day, my last day of class, I'm hanging out with them eating donuts because it's kind of a celebration day. And the next day, my girlfriend comes over, and it's the best moment of my life. I know this is not part of my college journey, but I had another indication of what I wanted for my future. I was really worried about how things would work out, and I loved her more than ever. It was the best experience ever. It was like a week-long date, and I'll probably go more into it in a video in the future. Yeah, I had one of the best experiences and also got my degree. There was a collision of large, monumentous events in my life. As for closing remarks about the degree, I'm really thankful for my college journey, and in fact, I love incorporating it into my videos because I love the idea that what I make can be used as sort of education. It can change how people look at film, or, maybe they can disagree and change how I look at film. And I don't want to rest on my laurels, because the degree is not the end all. I think if a doctor, yeah, they may have a degree, but a doctor still needs a good record. You don't want one that has screwed up several times. Essentially, my degree is not the end all. It's certification, but at the same time, I don't want to be too pessimistic. It is still a piece of paper. I have to go every day proving my own intelligence and learning more beyond what can be certified. So the degree is a large checkpoint in my life that I reached this point. I struggled, but I ended up really happy and confident in it at the end. And so I'm happy I got it, but it's not the end all. I still have a ways to go from here, and I hope to learn more from here. And I hope to explore film more, and I hope I can even teach others about it by looking at film, because I really do like making reviews, especially with free YouTube, because it's just free information. I feel like I'm doing good, and because there aren't really people, not that many people certified in film, I kind of like that I got a degree as a means of validating my viewers. As people who listen to me, well, I got credentials now, and hopefully anyone who was a fan of me feels validated for supporting me in that. And that's about it. Thanks for anyone who supported me, even my mom, even if it was merely financially in a way. Thanks for Janie for being there the whole time, supporting me, making me feel better, and being part of my celebration at the end. It's a big thing, but it's not over. It's not over. I still have a ways to go from here, and I hope to still make videos for you. So look forward to that. Dead or Alive trilogy review coming up next. Hopefully next month. And hopefully a lot more. So see you, and thank you all.